Have you ever pondered the unseen forces that guide us? In the realm of angels, one stands out as the most mysterious and enigmatic figure in the Bible. Today, on Decode Vale, we delve into the enigmatic presence of the angel known as the Angel of the Lord. This celestial being appears at pivotal moments throughout Scripture, leaving a profound impact on those who encounter him. Join us as we explore the depths of his mysterious identity and significance. 1. Theological Foundation. In Christian theology, angels are understood as celestial beings created by God to serve as his messengers and agents. They occupy a prominent place in both the Old and New Testaments, often appearing at critical moments to deliver divine messages, offer protection, and execute God's will. The Hebrew term malach, often translated as angel, literally means messenger, emphasizing their role as intermediaries between the divine and human realms. Among the numerous angelic figures in the Bible, the angel of the Lord stands out due to his mysterious and multifaceted nature. Unlike other angels, the angel of the Lord is depicted with a sense of authority and presence that often blurs the line between messenger and deity. This figure appears suddenly and dramatically, bearing messages of great significance and performing acts that reveal divine power and judgment. Theologically, the angel of the Lord is a subject of much debate and interpretation. Some scholars suggest that this angel is not a created being like other angels, but rather a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ, known as a Christophany. This interpretation is based on several key characteristics. 1. Divine authority. The angel of the Lord speaks as God himself using first-person pronouns, and those who encounter him often react with fear and reverence, recognizing him as more than an ordinary angel. 2. Worship and sacrifice. Unlike other angels who refuse worship, the angel of the Lord accepts it. For example, in Judges 13, Manoah and his wife offer a sacrifice to the angel of the Lord, who then ascends in the flame, indicating his acceptance of the offering and his divine nature. 3. God's presence. The appearances of the angel of the Lord are often associated with the manifestation of God's presence. In the burning bush encounter in Exodus 3, the angel of the Lord appears to Moses, and God speaks through him, declaring the sacredness of the ground and commissioning Moses for his mission. 4. Titles and names. The angel of the Lord is sometimes referred to by divine titles, such as the Lord, Yahweh, further blurring the distinction between this angelic figure and God himself. This unique angelic figure appears in key biblical narratives, each time revealing different aspects of God's character and plan. These appearances invite us to delve deeper into the nature of divine intervention and the mysterious ways in which God interacts with humanity. Through the study of the angel of the Lord, we gain a richer understanding of the complexities and depths of our faith, as well as the profound mystery that lies at the heart of the biblical revelation. 2. Scriptural appearances. The angel of the Lord is a figure of profound mystery and significance, making appearances in several key biblical narratives. Each encounter reveals different facets of his identity and the divine messages he brings. Hagar in the wilderness, Genesis 16. In Genesis 16, the angel of the Lord first appears to Hagar, the Egyptian maidservant of Sarai, who is fleeing from her mistress. The angel finds Hagar by a spring in the wilderness and speaks to her, offering comfort and prophetic insight into the future of her son Ishmael. This encounter is significant as it demonstrates God's concern for the marginalized and the downtrodden. The angel's words assure Hagar of God's presence and care, instructing her to return and submit to Sarai, promising that her descendants will be too numerous to count. The sacrifice of Isaac, Genesis 22. One of the most dramatic appearances of the angel of the Lord occurs in Genesis 22, where Abraham is tested by God to sacrifice his son Isaac. As Abraham is about to carry out the command, the angel of the Lord calls out to him from heaven, stopping him at the last moment. The angel acknowledges Abraham's faith and obedience, providing a ram as a substitute sacrifice. This pivotal moment not only emphasizes the angel's authority, but also foreshadows the ultimate sacrifice of Christ, offering profound theological implications about faith, obedience, and redemption. The burning bush, Exodus 3. In Exodus 3, Moses encounters the angel of the Lord in the form of a burning bush that is not consumed by fire. As Moses approaches, the angel speaks to him, identifying himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This encounter marks the beginning of Moses' prophetic mission to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. The angel of the Lord's appearance in the burning bush signifies God's holy presence and his call to Moses to liberate his people, reinforcing the angel's divine authority and mission. Gideon's call, Judges 6. In Judges 6, the angel of the Lord appears to Gideon while he is threshing wheat in a winepress, hiding from the Midianites. The angel addresses Gideon as a mighty warrior and commissions him to save Israel from their enemies. Despite Gideon's initial doubts and requests for signs, the angel remains patient and provides miraculous signs to confirm his divine mandate. This encounter highlights the angel's role in empowering and guiding individuals chosen by God for significant tasks, demonstrating divine support and assurance. Samson's birth announcement, Judges 13. Another notable appearance occurs in Judges 13, where the angel of the Lord announces the birth of Samson to Manoah and his wife. The angel provides specific instructions on how to raise the child, who is destined to begin the deliverance of Israel from the Philistines. Manoah, seeking confirmation of the angel's identity, offers a sacrifice, which the angel accepts by ascending in the flame from the altar. This extraordinary event convinces Manoah and his wife of the angel's divine nature and the importance of their son's future mission. The assassination of Sennacherib's army, 2 Kings 19. In 2 Kings 19, during the reign of King Hezekiah, the angel of the Lord intervenes in a dramatic and destructive manner. The Assyrian army, led by King Sennacherib, besieges Jerusalem. In response to Hezekiah's prayer for deliverance, the angel of the Lord strikes down 185,000 Assyrian soldiers in one night, leading to the retreat of Sennacherib. This powerful act of divine intervention underscores the angel's role as an agent of God's judgment and protection, defending God's people from overwhelming threats. Each of these scriptural appearances of the angel of the Lord reveals a unique aspect of his identity and mission. Through these narratives, we see a figure who embodies divine presence, delivers critical messages, provides guidance, and executes judgment, inviting believers to ponder the mysterious ways God interacts with his creation. These stories not only enhance our understanding of the angel of the Lord, but also deepen our appreciation for the profound and multifaceted nature of divine revelation. 3 theological interpretations. The identity and role of the angel of the Lord have been subjects of extensive theological interpretation and debate. Scholars and theologians have proposed various perspectives to understand this enigmatic figure, each offering unique insights into his nature and significance. Christophany, a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ. One prominent interpretation is that the angel of the Lord is a Christophany, a pre-incarnate appearance of Jesus Christ. This view is supported by several key characteristics. 1. Divine authority in speech. The angel of the Lord often speaks as God himself, using the first-person I when delivering messages and making promises. For instance, in Genesis 22, the angel says, "I swear by myself," which is a divine prerogative. 2. Acceptance of worship. Unlike other angels who refuse worship, the angel of the Lord accepts it. In Judges 13, Manoah and his wife offer a sacrifice to the angel of the Lord, who ascends in the flame, indicating acceptance of the offering, a gesture reserved for deity. 3. Theophanic presence. The angel of the Lord frequently appears in contexts that signify God's direct intervention and presence. In the burning bush, Exodus 3, the angel's presence sanctifies the ground, and God speaks through him, highlighting the angel's divine identity. 4 titles and names. The angel is sometimes referred to by divine titles such as the Lord, Yahweh. This blurring of identities suggests a closer identification with God than other angelic beings. These aspects lead many theologians to conclude that the angel of the Lord is the pre-incarnate Christ, revealing himself to humanity in anticipation of his incarnation as Jesus, a manifestation of God's presence. Another interpretation considers the angel of the Lord as a unique manifestation of God's presence, rather than a separate being. This view emphasizes that the angel serves as a visible and tangible representation of God, particularly in the Old Testament, where direct encounters with God are rare and awe-inspiring. 1. Mediator of divine encounters. The angel of the Lord mediates key encounters between God and individuals, conveying God's messages and executing his will. This function underscores the angel's role as an intermediary who makes the divine accessible to humans. 2. Revelation of God's nature. The angel reveals aspects of God's character, such as his holiness, mercy, and justice. In the story of Hagar, Genesis 16, the angel's compassionate intervention highlights God's concern for the marginalized, while the encounter with Abraham, Genesis 22, showcases divine provision and testing. 3. Epiphany and theophany. The angel of the Lord often appears in epiphanic and theophanic contexts, where God's glory and presence are dramatically revealed. These appearances serve to remind the faithful of God's immanence and transcendence, a high-ranking angel with a unique role. Some theologians propose that the angel of the Lord is a high-ranking angel, distinct from other angels but still a created being. This view emphasizes the angel's unique commission and authority given by God. 1. Special messenger. The angel of the Lord functions as a special messenger with a unique mission. He delivers pivotal messages, such as the call to Moses, Exodus 3, and the birth announcement of Samson, Judges 13, underscoring his importance in God's plan. 2. Agent of divine will. This angel acts as an agent of God's will, carrying out tasks that reflect divine power and judgment. The destruction of Sennacherib's army, 2 Kings 19, illustrates the angel's role in executing God's judgment and protection over Israel. 3. Distinct yet subordinate. While possessing significant authority, the angel of the Lord remains subordinate to God. This distinction maintains the angel's status as a created being, albeit with a unique and elevated role within the angelic hierarchy. Trinitarian implications. The appearances of the angel of the Lord also invite reflection on the Trinitarian nature of God. If the angel is indeed a Christophany, it suggests an early revelation of the Son's distinct personhood within the Godhead, prefiguring the fuller revelation of the Trinity in the New Testament. 1. Prefiguring the Incarnation. The angel of the Lord's actions and messages often prefigure the work of Christ in the New Testament. This continuity between the Old and New Testaments highlights the coherence of God's redemptive plan. 2. Interpersonal relationships. The interaction between the angel of the Lord and God the Father in various narratives hints at the interpersonal relationships within the Trinity, enriching our understanding of the complex and dynamic nature of the divine. These theological interpretations, while diverse, collectively deepen our appreciation for the mysterious and profound ways God reveals himself through the angel of the Lord. Whether viewed as a Christophany, a unique manifestation of God's presence, a high-ranking angel, or through a Trinitarian lens, the angel of the Lord remains a central and captivating figure in biblical theology. Real-life anecdotes. The profound mystery of the angel of the Lord invites us to reflect on the ways divine intervention manifests in our own lives. Real-life anecdotes of extraordinary guidance, protection, and encounters provide a modern context for understanding these biblical narratives, making the divine presence more tangible and relatable. A guardian angel on the road. Consider the story of Emily, a young woman who experienced a remarkable event on a treacherous mountain road. One evening, as she was driving home during a severe storm, her car skidded on a slick curve, veering dangerously close to the edge of a steep cliff. In that moment of panic, she felt an inexplicable calm wash over her. Suddenly, a stranger appeared beside her car, guiding her vehicle back onto the road with gentle, precise movements. When Emily looked back to thank the stranger, there was no one there. She later recounted this story to her church community, expressing her belief that she had been aided by an angel, a guardian sent to protect her in her moment of dire need. This modern-day experience echoes the protective interventions of the angel of the Lord, reminding us of God's continuous watch over his people. A mysterious visitor in the hospital. In another compelling account, John, a pastor, shared a deeply moving story from his ministry. He received a call late one night about a congregant, Sarah, who had been admitted to the hospital with a serious illness. When John arrived, he found Sarah remarkably calm and serene despite her condition. She told him about a man who had visited her room earlier, offering words of comfort and assurance. The man spoke of God's love and healing power, and Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of peace. Intrigued, John asked the hospital staff about the visitor, but no one had seen or recorded anyone entering her room. Sarah firmly believed that she had been visited by an angel, a divine messenger sent to bring her peace and hope in a time of fear and uncertainty. This story reflects the comforting presence of the angel of the Lord, who appeared to figures like Hagar and Gideon, offering reassurance and divine promises. A divine encounter in the wilderness. Tom, an avid hiker and nature enthusiast, shared an extraordinary experience from one of his solo trips in the wilderness. During a particularly challenging hike in a remote area, Tom became disoriented and lost. As night began to fall, panic set in, and he prayed fervently for help. Out of nowhere, an old man appeared on the trail ahead, offering to guide Tom back to safety. The man's knowledge of the area was uncanny, leading Tom through the dense forest with ease. When they finally reached a familiar path, Tom turned to thank his guide, but the man had vanished without a trace. Tom, convinced that he had encountered an angel, was struck by the parallel to the biblical accounts where the angel of the Lord guided and protected those in need. This experience underscores the belief that divine assistance can come in unexpected forms, reassuring us of God's ever-present care. An angelic voice in a moment of despair. Maria, a single mother facing immense personal and financial struggles, recounted a life-changing experience that she believes was divinely orchestrated. Overwhelmed by her circumstances, Maria found herself on the brink of despair, contemplating drastic measures. One night, as she cried out in desperation, she heard a clear, soothing voice that seemed to fill the room with light. The voice spoke words of encouragement and hope, reminding her of her worth and the love that surrounds her. This encounter gave Maria the strength to persevere and seek help, turning her life around. She later shared this story with her church, attributing the voice to an angel sent by God to intervene at her darkest hour. This narrative mirrors the transformative encounters with the angel of the Lord in the Bible, where divine messages bring life-changing guidance and hope. These real-life anecdotes, much like the biblical stories of the angel of the Lord, highlight the profound and mysterious ways in which divine intervention can manifest in our lives. They serve as modern-day reminders of the continuous and compassionate presence of God, encouraging us to remain open to the possibility of encountering the divine in our everyday experiences. Whether through a guiding hand on a dangerous road, a comforting presence in a hospital room, or a voice of hope in a moment of despair, these stories reinforce the enduring belief in angels and the miraculous ways they touch our lives. We invite you to share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Have you ever experienced a moment of divine guidance that felt beyond ordinary explanation? Let's start a conversation. As we continue our journey through the sacred texts, may we remain open to the unseen and the mysterious, ever seeking the divine presence that guides us all. Until next time, may peace and wisdom be with you.